Alex Reed was having a terrible Monday. Not the kind of Monday that involved just a forgotten lunch or a missed bus. Not even the kind where you realize that it's past lunch and your shirt has been inside out all day and no one let you know. No, that would be a splendid Monday compared to this Monday. This was the kind of Monday that involved accidentally turning the office coffee maker into a time machine and nearly destroying the universe. In regards to all Mondays, however, this was one of the better ones to have ever existed. It started like any other dreadful day in the life of Alex Reed. Rising at whatever time Megabyte Corp said he needed to wake up, putting on whatever the daily hot trend was, which usually fell out of style several hours before it was actually in style, which is why it was critically important to have your mobile textile printer upgraded with the latest firmware. Leaving his drab but conveniently located apartment for the train station and the quick 10-minute hyper train ride to the Megabyte Corporate offices, Alex paused to remind the houseplants to not watch too much television and to try and get some sun. They were looking a bit pale. Both the hosta and ivy agreed, but the cactus told him to fuck off. Alex, a 30-ish, shortish, tall, fattish, skinny, remarkably unremarkable human male and mid-level engineer with quadruple doctorates and several master's degrees from multiple institutions, had spent the better part of his morning cursing at his malfunctioning coffee maker. It was a fairly standard coffee maker with telepathic inputs and linked to the individual user's location at all time so that it can quickly and conveniently access each individual's bank statements and toilet use records in order to derive the precise flavor, caffeine, narcotic, and antidepressant levels to produce in each cup. In truth, it was really a substandard machine for the kind of work expected at this level of engineering. But budgets being what they were, a new one would have to wait until the next round of layoffs, which were not expected until at least the end of the week. After an hour of fruitless fiddling, including unplugging it and plugging it back in several times, Alex did what any self-respecting engineer would do. He decided to completely take it apart, hack its systems, and rebuild it entirely. A simple coffee maker like this should only take the better part of his second union-mandated 1-hour coffee break. Armed with his favorite quantum soldering iron, a random assortment of spare parts from the lost and found, the office paperclip to keep a lookout, and a general disregard for safety protocols, he set to work. The first sign that something was amiss came when the coffee maker began to hum. Not the comforting mechanical hum of a machine preparing to brew a fresh pot, or a lovely hum one might randomly begin on a particularly enjoyable mid-afternoon walk, but a deep, resonant hum that seemed to vibrate through the very fabric of reality. Or at least Alex's current attire, which he had to stop twice to change due to current trends and corporate mandates. "That's new," Alex muttered, as he poked at the coffee maker with his electron driver. The second sign was when the coffee maker sprouted a small antenna and began emitting a soft blue glow. Okay, definitely not supposed to do that, Alex said, stepping back. His curiosity, however, got the better of him. He leaned in closer, eyes wide with fascination and only a slight hint of dread. The third sign was the portal that began to emanate from where the hot plate used to be. One moment, Alex was in the drab, neon-filled, cluttered office break room, and the next, he was hurtling through a swirling vortex of light and sound. This was not an entirely unusual experience for Alex. In fact, it very much reminded him of his 21st birthday party, which ditched entirely due to an unlikely meeting with several well-read talking mushrooms. Unlike his 21st birthday, however, upon exiting this portal, he was unceremoniously dumped onto a cold, metallic floor. Groaning, Alex sat up and looked around. He was in a large, dimly lit chamber filled with an eclectic assortment of objects: a Victorian-era gramophone, a levitating skateboard, and what appeared to be a genuine Tyrannosaurus Rex skull turned into a grand piano. Curiosity getting the better of him, Alex fingered a key and nearly got his arm bitten off by the falling teeth. "Please don't touch that, thank you very much," said a voice, seemingly from everywhere. Alex turned to see a small floating disk and holographic interface emanating above it. The words, "Zed, your friendly temporal assistant," hovered in mid-air, accompanied by a pixelated smiley face. "Welcome to the Temporal Nexus Temporal Passport and Paradox Insurance, please," said the smiley face, ever so slightly annoyed. Yeah. Hi. Hello?" Alex said, rubbing his head. "Temporal Nexus?" "Yes, the Temporal Nexus," Zed replied, the holographic face shifting to an eye-rolling image. "The hub for all things time travel. Where have you been?" The floating, seemingly annoyed character changed to a seemingly annoyed question mark. From the center of the disk emanated a wide, flat beam of light that went up and down across Alex's body several times. "Let's see, based on these chronometric, you're from, oh God, Earth, Gregorian calendar, year 2224. The dark ages of temporal ignorance." The floating face returned to its original position, now resembling Winston Churchill, but decidedly more punk rock. "Temporal what?" Alex repeated, his brain struggling to keep up. "Ignorance. It's a word you should get used to hearing now that you're in the presence of the Ministry of Chrononautics." A fat cigar appeared in Zed's mouth. "Wait, Ministry of Chrononautics? I thought you said Temporal Nexus?" Alex was panicking. A deep gurgle in the pit of his stomach formed. He felt like he needed to throw up. Zed bobbed up and down in front of Alex, his Churchillian face scrunched and sniffed. "Yes, like I said, if you would only just pay attention. You are in the temporal nexus in the halls of circumstance within the Ministry of Chronotics," Zed said, cigar glowing and digital smoke enveloping Alex's head. "You seem to have stumbled upon the world of temporal agents, explorers, pirates, and miscreants. And judging by that outdated attire and your general confusion, you're new to this, aren't you? What did you do, make a time machine out of your toaster or something?" "A coffee maker?" mumbled Alex. "Ooh, that's a new one. Well, no matter, temporal records indicate no issues with your presence here, so we won't have to kill you and disseminate your body throughout time and space," said Zed, taking another puff of his holographic cigar. Alex's face dropped and heart rate skipped from to mild confusion to abject terror, without the needless meandering through concern, fear, and danger. He definitely needed to throw up now. Before Alex could actually throw up, a door on the far side of the chamber slid open with a hiss. Not a pneumatic hiss or smooth sliding of metal, an actual hiss from a rather large and quite perturbed snake. From the door emerged a young woman with neon blue hair, and an outfit made of what appeared to be recycled phone parts strolled in. She was followed by a tall figure in a cloak. "Ah, fresh meat," the woman said with a grin. "I'm Lila, and this is the Chrononaut. Welcome to the Nexus, where the impossible is just another Tuesday." Alex threw up immediately and passed out. "Like and subscribe for Chapter 2!"